Good afternoon, everyone, to today's licensing subcommittee on Friday, 6th of December. Are there any apologies for absence? Councillor Fern.
Yeah, apologies from Councillor Kemp.
Thank you very much. And we have apologies from Councillor Field as well, don't we? And Sands.
And Councillor Sands.
Okay, thank you. Can I approve the record of the meeting held on the 9th of August 2024? Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. I have no urgent matters of special circumstance. And are there any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interest or other significant interest today? No? Okay, great. And can we now move to item 5, the variation to Hackney carriage tariffs for Christmas 2024 and the New Year 2025? And Mandy, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, members. Currently, the Medway Licensed Taxi Drivers Association submit an annual request with their suggested Christmas and New Year tariff variation for officers to consider prior to their recommendation to members. The Christmas 2024, New Year 2025 variation was received by licensing on the 5th of November, and due to the short timescales, we placed the public notice in the Kent Messenger Medway on the 14th of November with the statutory 14-day consultation period. That period ended on the 27th of November, following which I can confirm that no comments were received. Just to bring members' attention, the proposed variation mirrors that has been set for the previous 3 years. So they're not requesting any changes whatsoever. Therefore, members are requested to consider the Christmas 2024, New Year 2025 tariffs as detailed in Appendix A on page 13, and if agreed, recommend to Cabinet for approval. Just for members' information, the current tariffs are attached at Appendix B on page 15. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandy. Councillor Fern?
Yeah, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Mandy. So it's just a couple of things, maybe one for Democratic Services, really. When we've just got a single item like this and we've got a licensing meeting on Tuesday, as we've got, could we not have tagged it on and had the subcommittee afterwards just to save the sort of logistics of all of this and make things sort of more efficient for the council, is the first point. And the second point is what you've just raised, Mandy, and that's we've had this increase, the same increase for 3 years in a row. Could we not make this a standard thing going forward, and then if the association or the taxi representatives want to put in a different claim, then they bring it back, but we have it as a standard thing to sort of save this?
Just to clarify the first point, the reason why it came to licensing sub is because it's always gone to licensing sub before, and it's always been a historical thing. In terms of it being included within the current tariff, so it appears on the fare card, so we're not having to review this every single year, that's already in hand. So we have got the Hackney carriage tariff policy, which is coming to committee licensing and safety on Tuesday, and then if that is all implemented, the first tariff review will incorporate the Christmas tariffs on the fare card, and then it will only be reviewed. It's the proposals every 2 years, and it would be at that time that it would be considered, and it will be done way in advance. So it's not lastminute.com. Okay.
No, brilliant. Thank you for that. I fully support this, by the way.
Thank you, Councillor Fern. I presume it's also to get it into Cabinet in time. I think Cabinet's Tuesday during the day, so we have to get them in time. But your point is well made, I think, about if we can, and if it's not time limited, just schedule it in just before or just after. We could do that, couldn't we? As long as it's not a hearing as well just after, it goes on till 10 at night. I think that'd be really good to do. And I do know there's a lot of work going on with the policy, isn't there, which would be helpful. But it might be good, I suppose we could, Mandy, couldn't we, and do this on a 3-year, like if we set it, like Councillor was saying, on a 3-year basis. Are we allowed to do that? Yeah. We can just do that, and then if there's anything coming up, or are you worried about?
I would want it to run concurrently with the taxi review. So because that's being proposed on a biannual basis, that this will be reviewed on a biannual basis, and the Christmas tariffs will only ever be changed if during that review they request any changes that we need to consider.
So that's brilliant. So we can do it. We can do it by review. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Vice Chair.
Just a point of clarification. If we're reviewing all the tariffs biannually, that this will definitely be included in that review, and if that happens in July or whenever it happens, it'll be included in that. I'm totally behind what Councillor Fern says about streamlining the discussions and keeping them the same subject matter across the piece, and trying to make it a far more leaner process. So when we review the whole tariff review, the Christmas one will automatically be in that. Thank you.
There would be an option for them to, if you look at the Hackney Carriage tariff policy, which is going to members next week, that outlines what is going to be considered within that policy review, and there will be an option. It's going to be structured so that everybody knows exactly what's going to be able to be reviewed, and there's an additional comment in there that says anything else that you wish us to consider, and that would be then when the trade would come forward and say whether or not they wish to have the Christmas tariffs changed. Otherwise, the Christmas tariffs will remain as is. They will only request it if it needs to be changed.
But they need to request it in the request at the
Yes.
time we review all
Yes.
of them. And
Yes.
I think that we have to be clear about the wording of that.
Yes, that's included within the policy. We wouldn't review the taxi variation outside of the requirements within the policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I do know there's so much work gone into the policy. And can I come to you? There's so much gone into the policy that I think it will be really clear about what we do going forward. Won't it? It'll be much more tidier, isn't it? Which we discuss on Tuesday. Councillor Peake.
Thank you, Chair. Just a point of clarification. When it says the tariff when it says tariff 2 is the same as tariff 1 with an increase of 50%, so therefore standard fare of £4 becomes £6, is it also the distance, the 20p, is that automatically then 30p?
No.
So it's just the basic. Okay, so it's a 4 then a 6.
Sure.
Right.
I'm just going to double check that.
Okay, thank you.
No, sorry. Tariff 1 incorporates the distance unit, time unit, and the waiting time, so all of that will be time and a half.
And so it does include the distance?
It does, yes.
And then on tariff 3 is then double including
Yes,
the distance?
yes.
Okay, because obviously if you're going a long way, that's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Committee. I move that the Committee recommends to Cabinet to set the tariffs as attached in Appendix A. Is that seconded?
Is that seconded? Seconded. Is that agreed, members?
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, so that's it. And that concludes business for today's meeting. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you. Thank you.